truly intelligent man understands that the world is not governed by truth, but by perception. Reality, to the majority, is what they see and believe, not what exists beneath the surface. Therefore, he does not waste time trying to force the world to accept his truth. Instead, he crafts an illusion more powerful than any fact. He becomes a master of appearances, knowing that power does not lie in what is, but in what seems to be. People judge a man by how he presents himself, by the clothes he wears, the words he speaks, the way he moves through a room. These things, though superficial, dictate influence and respect. He uses this knowledge with deadly precision. He does not wear his heart on his sleeve. His thoughts are not spilled carelessly for others to dissect. What others know of him is what he allows them to know, nothing more. He presents confidence, but never arrogance, humility, but never submission, strength, never recklessness. His image is not a reflection of his soul. It is armor, crafted carefully to seduce allies and misled enemies. When the crowd demands virtue, he appears virtuous. When the powerful admire cruelty, he shows teeth. He adapts like water to the container of circumstance. The masses do not love what is real. They love what comforts them, what flatters their expectations. He gives them exactly that. His reputation is his greatest weapon. He understands that fear and admiration can be born from the same illusion. He curates mystery, for the unknown provokes both reverence and caution. If they cannot read him, they cannot predict him. If they cannot predict him, they cannot stop him. He controls the narrative by revealing only fragments. He says just enough to spark curiosity, but never enough to be truly known. People project their fantasies or fears onto him, and he lets them. He is a mirror that reflects whatever gives him leverage. He knows that those who reveal too much lose power. Vulnerability is useful only when staged, never when authentic. A sudden confession of weakness, a perfectly timed story of struggle, these are not admissions, they are tactics. His image is a stage, and every gesture, every silence, is rehearsed. This does not mean he lacks depth, rather, his depth is hidden beneath layers of deliberate construction. He speaks when it serves him. He is silent when it confuses or unsettles. He listens because listening exposes others. While they talk, he gathers information. While they boast, he calculates. Others seek to be understood. He seeks to be respected. Understanding invites comfort. Respect demands distance. He knows that people feel closest to those they can define, so he defies definition. He shifts tones, roles, and expressions depending on who he is speaking to. To some, he is charming. To others, cold. To a few, brutally honest. But to no one, fully transparent. The intelligent man plays any roles but believes in none. The performance is the point. This ability to wear masks is not weakness. It is strategy. The world does not reward authenticity, it rewards effectiveness. Those who cry out for truth are the first to crucify it. So he adapts. He does not lie out of fear, but out of command. He lies when truth is dangerous. He tells the truth when it causes more damage than deceit. He chooses his tools like a general chooses weapons, based on the battlefield, not on emotion. He surrounds himself with people who serve his objectives. To each, he shows a version of himself tailored to their usefulness. He does not give the same face to a soldier as he does to a philosopher, or the same voice to a merchant as he does to a ruler. Each relationship is a transaction, and appearances are the currency. While others exhaust themselves trying to be consistent, he is flexible. They call it hypocrisy. He calls it survival. The intelligent man does not see people as they wish to be seen. He sees them as they are. He strips away the polite smiles, the carefully chosen words, and the rehearsed gestures until all that remains is raw instinct. He is not swayed by titles or reputations. He studies behavior, not intention. While others are distracted by surface morality, he focuses on patterns. What people do when no one is watching, what they choose when no rules bind them. He knows that human nature is not noble by default, it is selfish, reactive, and driven by desire. This understanding is not cynical to him. It is clarity. He expects betrayal where others expect loyalty. He does not confuse kindness with allegiance. He knows that people are loyal only to their interests, and when those interests change, so will their loyalty. Trust is not a gift he gives freely. It is a currency that must be earned and constantly re-evaluated. When a man flatters too much, he recognizes it as manipulation. When a man hesitates, he notes fear. Every interaction becomes a study, a chance to gather knowledge, to understand what motivates, what tempts, what threatens. He does not mistake weakness for innocence. He sees that weakness often hides behind a soft face or trembling voice. People may not have the power to commit great harm, but the desire is often there, hidden beneath layers of powerlessness. Give them power, and their true nature emerges. He prepares for that. He does not gamble on the hope that someone will act out of goodness. He calculates the likelihood that they will act out of fear, greed, envy, or ambition. These are the forces he counts on, because they are consistent. He watches how people treat those who cannot benefit them. He observes how they speak of the absent. He listens for contradictions, for gaps in their stories, for signs of performance. He never assumes anyone is exactly who they claim to be. He keeps his expectations low and his awareness high. This detachment does not make him cruel. It makes him unbreakable. Where others are wounded by disloyalty, he is prepared for it. Where others are deceived, he is already 3 steps ahead, having seen through the mask from the very beginning. The intelligent man understands that emotion is a tool, not a command. He does not deny his feelings. He studies them. Where others are swept away by anger, lust, fear, or sadness, he holds each one in his hand, examines it, and decides whether it serves his purpose. He is not a cold machine. He feels deeply, but his feelings are disciplined. He allows himself to burn inside, but never lets the fire consume his direction. The world believes that emotion is sincerity, but he knows that unchecked emotion is exposure, and exposure is weakness. When provoked, he does not react immediately. He delays. He lets the impulse pass and in its place brings judgment. This delay is power. It is the pause that turns chose into strategy. Others may lash out and call it courage. He waits, and when he moves, his strike is clean and calculated. He never says more than necessary, never shows more than useful. He understands that even silence can be a weapon when timed correctly. He has trained himself not to respond to insult with wounded pride. Pride is the bait of fools. It demands instant retaliation, and that retaliation often leads to self-destruction. The intelligent man knows that his pride can be satisfied privately later in victory, not in impulsive outbursts. He watches those who try to offend him, not with anger, but with curiosity. He asks, why now? Why this tactic? What do they seek to gain? He lets their emotions reveal their strategy, while concealing his own. In matters of love and desire, he does not allow himself to be blinded. He may be drawn, even fascinated, but never consumed. Passion is pleasurable, but it is also a battlefield. He recognizes when attraction is a trap, when attention is a lure. He can play the game of affection, but he never loses awareness of the stakes. He is not seduced by beauty alone, nor by flattery. His affections are filtered through reason, and his reason never sleeps. In moments of fear, he does not seek comfort, he seeks control. He understands that fear distorts perception, that it makes men see enemies where there are none and miss dangers hiding in plain sight. He acknowledges the feeling, but does not bow to it. Instead, he dissects it, identifies its source, and finds a way to use it. If fear drives others into retreat, he uses it to push himself into deeper focus. Even sorrow is not wasted. He may mourn, but not publicly. He may grieve, but only in solitude. He never grants the world the satisfaction of seeing him broken. To those watching, he remains composed. Behind closed doors, he studies his pain, learns from it, sharpens it into a reminder, a lesson, a weapon. Emotion in his hands becomes an extension of his will. It fuels him, but never rules him. The intelligent man is not free of emotion. He is free from being ruled by it. The intelligent man knows that time is more powerful than strength. Where the impulsive rush to act, he waits. Where others see urgency, he sees an opportunity to prepare. He is not moved by pressure or provocation. He understands that the moment of action must be chosen with precision, not emotion. Timing is not luck. It is the result of patience, observation, and restraint. He studies the battlefield, whether literal or symbolic, with a cold eye. He watches the rise and fall of others, takes note of patterns, learns the rhythm of events, and moves only when that rhythm aligns with his aim. He does not confuse movement with progress. Many act just to appear strong, to silence their own doubt, or to impress others. He has no need for that display. He can endure stillness. He is comfortable being underestimated. He uses inaction as a disguise, letting others grow bold, careless, predictable. While they waste energy on premature moves, he preserves his resources. He lets them reveal themselves, expose their strategies, exhaust their advantages. When they think him passive, he is in truth positioning. He understands that most errors are born not of lack of ability, but of poor timing. A good plan executed too early becomes a failure. A brilliant idea implemented in the wrong moment collapses under the weight of chaos. The intelligent man studies momentum. He knows that the world shifts in waves, and if he acts against the current, he will drown. But if he waits, if he watches for the right swell, he can ride it with minimal effort and maximum effect. Force to him is the last option, not the first. Anyone can act with brute strength, but not everyone can act with surgical precision. He aims to achieve his ends with the least resistance and the greatest efficiency. If a conflict can be avoided until it no longer threatens, he delays it. If an enemy can destroy himself without intervention, he steps back. He believes that time can be the greatest ally in defeating opponents who are reckless, arrogant, or impatient. He allows their flaws to ripen into failures. He moves silently while others make noise. He prepares while they celebrate. He studies their victories and losses alike, learning the limits of their reach. And when the time comes when the opening appears, he does not hesitate. His action is swift, decisive, and complete. He does not strike twice. He strikes once, in the right place, at the right time, and changes everything. Those watching think it happened suddenly, but he knows it began long before. In the quiet, in the waiting, in the discipline to let others burn themselves out, he lets time soften defenses, expose weaknesses, and silence distractions. Timing is not the absence of action. It is action perfected by patience. The intelligent man does not crave affection from the masses. He does not shape his character to be liked, nor does he mold his words to be applauded. Popularity is fleeting, dependent on emotion, vulnerable to the winds of opinion. He understands that what pleases people today may offend them tomorrow, and to build one's identity on their approval is to stand on shifting sand. Instead, he seeks power, the kind that commands respect even in silence, the kind that endures criticism and survives betrayal. He is not afraid to be misunderstood. He does not clarify every word or defend every decision. He knows that the desire to be liked leads to compromise, and compromise too often leads to weakness. The man who aims to please all soon finds himself ruled by all. Their expectations become his prison. Their judgments shape his choices. The intelligent man breaks this chain before it forms. He defines himself on his own terms, and if that earns him enemies, he accepts them without apology. He studies the nature of influence. He sees that most people are more concerned with appearing good than being effective. They perform for approval, sacrificing their strength for applause. He watches them carefully and does the opposite. When kindness grants him leverage, he uses it. When ruthlessness achieves more, he does not hesitate. His goal is not to be admired, but to be obeyed. Not to be loved, but to be necessary. When people depend on him, when they fear disappointing or crossing him, he holds real power, deeper and more lasting than any praise. Respect, he knows, is earned through consistency, through competence, through the willingness to do what others avoid. He does not explain his standards. He enforces them. He does not beg for trust. He builds it through results. And when challenged, he does not respond with emotional outbursts, but with undeniable authority. He remains calm where others panic, decisive where others hesitate. This control becomes his aura. People may not love him, but they cannot ignore him. They follow because he leads from strength, not charm. He does not chase symbols to impress others. He does not measure his worth by followers or compliments. He measures it by what he controls, by what he can influence, by how easily he can shift the direction of events without asking for permission. Popularity is a game for those who need validation. He needs results. He is not concerned with being the favorite. He is focused on being the one who cannot be replaced. He understands that to lead, one must be willing to stand alone. There will be moments when strength looks cruel, when decisions appear cold, when leadership demands sacrifice. In those moments, the popular man falters, but the intelligent man thrives. He carries the burden without needing thanks. He builds silently while others talk. He is not remembered for being liked. He is remembered for what he accomplished, for the marks he left, for the power he wielded with discipline and clarity. The world belongs not to those who merely speak of intelligence, but to those who wield it with precision. The truly intelligent man is not loud, not desperate to be seen, not eager to be embraced by the crowd. He watches, calculates, adapts. He understands the weight of timing, the mask of appearances, the true nature of men, the danger of emotion, and the hollowness of public approval. His mind is his fortress, his will the blade, and his silence the battlefield where others reveal themselves. He is feared by the shallow, respected by the wise, and forgotten by none. While others chase comfort, he sharpens his mind. While others seek validation, he seeks control. And in the end, it is not the man most loved who triumphs. It is the man most prepared.